So a function is just a chunk of code that does a specific thing, and you can call it to do that thing whenever you want it to. Like if all the directions for mowing lawn were shoved in a little box, and anytime you wanted someone to mow the lawn, you just say mow the lawn, and it would call that set of instructions and do it. So in the say your name, it looks like this. So the code for saying the name is here. It fills the color, sets the size, and says hi. So I'm going to first change this to say my name, and then I'm going to create a function. So a function starts with var, and I'm going to give it a name. I'm just going to call it say name, and this is how you set up a function. Say name equals function, and it gets curly braces. And then at the end, you need to end it with curly braces and a semicolon. Now, the next thing that you have to do is call the function. So to call the function, you will say name, because that's the name of the function right here. And you need these two little parentheses to go behind it. Now, they're going to tell us right here that because we want these to be random each time, we're going to have to shove them inside of this function. So I'm going to grab these two and drag them into this function. I'm going to tab in because I'm picky. And now I'm going to say this multiple times. So say name, and each time it goes through, when I call say name, it goes to this function and then it does all the code that's in here. So it gives it a new random X and Y, fills it with red, sets the text size to 30, and then says hi. And now it's yelling at me because I have to say it 4 whole times for it to be happy here. There. So that's how a function works. It's just all of the code inside, and you give it a name, and then you call it when you need it. So parameters in functions are variables that you can pass into a function that it can use inside of it to change something about it. So this is grass filled with holes, but it has no moles. So they've already created a mole drawing function right here that defines a mole, draws the mole, and it wants you to get a mole to show up by calling the function. So it says call the draw mole function to get a mole to show up. So at the bottom, if I call draw mole and I give it a X, and if I just do draw mole, it's gonna put it wherever it wants, okay? Now what it wants us to do is to provide it with an X and a Y location and to take that in. So we're going to change the draw mole, and we're going to take in mole X and mole Y. Now when I call, I'm going to create that at those specific locations. So I'm going to pass a number in for mole X and mole Y. So for this first one, I'm going to get rid of these and pull them out of the loop. And I'm going to, sorry, I'm really picky about spaces, going to provide it now with these locations. So you can see that the holes are right here. So there's a hole, oops, at 200, 200. So if I do a 200, 200 mole, I should get a mole right there. If I move them up a little bit higher on the Y, so I'm going to move them back a little bit, it'll look like he's actually coming out of the hole. And then it wants me to do one for each of the moles. So I'll draw a mole, and I'll look at this next one. Was at 70 and 119. And I know I'm going to make this number. If I do 119, it's not going to be high enough. So I'm going to take And I'm going to make that number smaller till it looks like the mole's coming out of the hole. And the next one was at 300, and I'm going to do 55. And that's still not far enough. Looks like it is 14 less than what they have. So this one's at 297. Oops. And 46, so I don't know, like 30? Oh, 350. So 300, 325. Hey, move. I want to see where he is. I can't. All right. That's how you do that one.